Cuckoo, Coach Rab here on a glorious Sunday afternoon in Perth. Just jumping on to give you one of my mindset lessons. So just recently I finished my beginners program. So it was a 3-week course that prepped people from absolute beginner or returning after a long hiatus to get back into regular exercise. I recognize that I do live classes online, and all the promotional work that I'd ever done for that was always showcasing some of the harder stuff. Because the way social media works, you kind of have to make it look cool, right? But unfortunately, some people take one look at that and they're like, I couldn't do that, and it puts them off. And what I was doing with the beginners program was trying to bridge that gap, just saying, well, actually, you don't have to be doing all that cool stuff. That's just showy stuff for the social media algorithm. But fundamentally, turn up to class and do what you can. And that's what this mindset's all about. Because with the beginners program, the key mindset that I preached throughout was do what you can. Now, I was building up gradually. I deliberately kept the numbers of the group small. It was fantastic turnout, great questions asked, and lots of alternatives given. And throughout, I was always just saying, do what you can. Now we've finished the program, I've jumped on here to spread that mindset to you. Whether you're taking part in a class in person or you're doing something online or even training by yourself, the do what you can mindset is a really powerful tool. First of all, you don't want to be comparing yourself to others, okay? What other people do or their fitness levels. If somebody's fitter than you, usually it means they've been working at it for a longer period of time, right? You don't just wake up one morning and be super fit, right? Even fairly fit people have got to work at it to build it up, okay? So first and foremost, so don't compare yourself to others. When it comes to individual moves as well, everybody's body shape is different length of arms, legs, torso. Over time, we develop injuries, niggles, or things that just don't work like they should, And given all those ingredients into one, your exercise program might not match the person next to you, but it doesn't need to, because whatever they're doing is good for them, and you have to focus on what's good for you. And that's why it's a powerful tool to leave the ego at the door and be brave enough to ask for modifications. If your shoulders aren't great, then get modifications for pushing movements or anything that causes you any pain. If you're having to watch the back, or if your core's weak, or knees, or hips, or all this stuff, find modifications and do what you can. And that's what I was talking about throughout the beginners program, which was great because the people on board grasped that mindset and they're like, actually, I'm going to do what I can. And you can then take that same concept into any session you do. Even if you went to your local gym and took part in one of their advanced classes, no one's expecting you to knock out the park like the other people that go regularly if you haven't been for a while or have never been, right? But if you do what you can, you will absolutely build up and grow. And if each time you just say to yourself, right, just at least do what I did last time, and if I've got the energy, just push myself a little bit more. So building up gradually, not putting too much stress on yourself. So first of all, I said, don't compare yourself to others. Also, don't compare yourself to yourself. That sounds really, really stupid, but don't compare yourself to previous versions of you when you were younger, fitter, stronger, faster, happier, all that jazz, right? When you embark on a new program, whether that's a class-based program or just your own program in the gym or whatever it is you're doing, treat it as a new ground zero. Just say, you know what, fresh start, go from here, and just look for the progressions week to week. Don't compare yourself, oh, well, I used to, if you were a runner and you get back into your running, for example, and you're running 15-minute miles, you're like, oh, but I used to be able to run 8-minute miles. Yeah, good for you. When you were running 8-minute miles, you didn't just wake up one day and run an 8-minute mile. You were probably waking up multiple days for over a couple of weeks, running regularly, doing some training, eating well, and over time you got your times down to 8-minute miles. Happy days. It's unfair to expect you to be straight back there just because you were there. And if with that particular mindset of comparing yourself to previous versions, you're always going to be chasing your shadow. And then it becomes bittersweet, because I've done that. I've chased previous strength goals that I used to be able to bench press this much. And then when I go back to it, I'm like, oh. And the sad thing is you work your butt off and you eventually get back to where you were after a long, long time of slogging it. And then even if you make a bit more progress, it's not as sweet. When the reality is you might have, the progress that you made over all those months to bring yourself back up is the huge win. But mentally, you only focus on those small increments, and that's why it doesn't work. So take it as a fresh ground zero and enjoy the process all over again. So the beginners program, those people merged into my full classes, which they'll be experiencing this coming week. and they're going to carry that mindset with them to do what you can. So there'll be sometimes they come in, and the classes I normally teach is for a broad range of fitness, and what they'll realize is that people in the class do actually ask for modifications. You know, there's some people that struggle to do push-ups on the floor, so they do them elevated against the windowsill or just a raised surface in general. There's some people that struggle with lunges, so they swap them out for squats. There's other people that you have to swap out various ab movements and so on and so forth. The bottom line is if you do what you can, at the end of the workout, you're going to feel really good. Your confidence will be boosted, your self-esteem will be like through the roof. And you're like, yes, I did a good workout. And it's that mindset, isn't it? I did what I could and I worked hard. And that counts for everything. The last sort of facet of the do what you can mindset takes into account that you'll have good days and bad days, and you'll have days when you have more time and less time. Life can be busy. So one of the key things about preaching do what you can is that doing something is better than doing nothing. Now, if you're really short on time, because life can get busy, often it's work or family commitments can get in the way, and all of a sudden you say, you know, my workout normally takes 45 minutes, or the classes are 30, 45 an hour, whatever the class you're going to go to. I don't have that time. Okay, but what time do you have? Do you have 50 minutes? Okay, what can you do in 50 minutes? Do what you can, right? So if you're short on time, slot in. Now there's sometimes when I was short on time, I used to just pick one exercise. Say I was using my TRX for pulls, or just do squats, or just a shoulder press, and I'd see how many sets I could get done before I ran out of time. Now that is better than doing absolutely nothing at all. So again, you do what you can. And then the other side of that is you'll have your high energy days, your low energy days. You might not be feeling 100%. You take all that on board with to do what you can. If you're not feeling great one day, you should probably just say to yourself, I'm not feeling 100%, but I could probably do some light stuff with some stretching. Great, do it. And you'll feel so much better. Now, if of course you're completely unwell and rest is best, then take the rest, right? You've got to make an executive decision. But if you're in that kind of position where you've had a long day and you're tired, and that's usually one way you say, I'm just going to sit on the sofa tonight or whatever, right? But actually, if you say, well, if you give yourself permission to do what you can, you might surprise yourself. You might commit to just doing the warm-up in 1 or 2 sets, and say you did the warm-up 1 or 2 sets and another exercise. You did more than you expected, and you'll feel so much better. When you start to skip things because you allow life to get in the way, the chances of that happening again dramatically increase. So it's about saying, no, I'm going to do something. And so it's do what you can. So I hope that helps you with whatever program you're following, is that there's no shame in asking for modifications. Everybody's built differently, right down to the lengths of levers, arms, legs, torsos. So certain movements can feel different for other people. Really, really tall people might struggle with certain movements. Really, really short people might. It doesn't matter. You make the adjustments so that you get the best out of your workout. The key thing with a workout is to work your muscles hard. Don't worry about trying to necessarily blast the entire workout out the spectrum. It's like, no. If your muscles were worked hard, box ticked. You do what you can on any given day with the time you have, the energy you have, and the abilities that you have. You follow those principles, then you'll get your workouts in regularly, and most importantly, you will feel good about your approach to your health and wellness, which then increases the likelihood of 1, you maintaining it, and 2, looking to progress it in some shape or form. So do what you can.